Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the October 22nd Diversion Authority Finance Committee meeting. Don, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Dardis.
Here.
Mayor Mahoney.
Here.
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 You gotta turn your mic up, maybe, Don.
Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Redlinger. Here. Mr. Grimberg.
Here.
Mr. Pepcorn.
Here.
Mr. Capitan.
Here.
Mr. Reitz.
Here.
And Ms. Heinley.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Thank you, Don. Item number 2 is to approve the minutes of September 24th, 2025. It is on page 2 of the packet and it has been distributed.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner
Second.
Grinberg and Commissioner Capitan seconds. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 3 is to approve the order of the agenda. Again, it is before you.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Steen. We have a motion and a second to approve the order of the agenda as presented for October 22nd, 2025. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are now on the next order is item number 4 is the approval of the bills. Susan Thompson, Finance Director of the City of Fargo. It's on page 5 of the packet. Ms. Thompson.
Before you is the list of bills. These are bills received through October 14th. They total $4,037,858.05. The top two, Clay County, that is one invoice for highway reconstruction, and the City of Fargo is primarily some storm lifts. The other items are pretty standard items that we see every month.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Is there any questions for the lady? This is an actionable item.
Move for approval.
I have a motion to approve the bills of $4,037,858.05 as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Capitan seconds. I have a motion and a second to approve the bills as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We move on to item number 5, the finance report. Again, we call on Susan Thompson, Finance Director, City of Fargo. It's on page 34 of the packet.
Okay, page 34 is the historic and year-to-date revenues and expenditures. Just a reminder, the sales tax is in arrears, so it would be missing some compared to the current date. And then page 35 is the statement of net position. So with the diversion project fund along with the budget fund, total assets are $289,280,504. Looks like we had a timing issue with some vouchers payable due, so bigger liabilities than usual. It's $1,881,269 for a net position of $287,399,234.
Thank you. Any questions regarding the finance report? It is an actionable item.
Move to approve the report.
Thank you, Mr. Steen. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Mayor Carlson seconds. We have a motion and a second to approve the finance report as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are now on item number 6, our cash budget report. We're going to call on Jason Benson, Executive Director of the Metro Flood Diversion Authority. It's on page 60 of the packet. Good afternoon, Mr. Benson, and welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and board members. Looking at the annual revenue stats, when we look at both the monthly and the year-to-date, we're on track. Really, the big difference is that $234 million in WIFIA draws that we haven't started drawing. So that's really the big difference when you look at what the approved budget for that $447 million compared to our fiscal year-to-date of $162 million. When you take away that 234, we're on track for overall with our revenues. there's any questions, we'll move to the next slide. And then we're looking at our level 1, the second line, milestone payments to the developer. That's really the biggest line that's ticked up in the last 30 to 60 days following the settlement agreement, where we authorized that $90 million for work that's been completed to 80%, authorizing the developer to submit for that funding. We previously had less than $20 million that had gone to the developer primarily for the shoe fly transitions around the railroad bridge sites. And so since the settlement agreement, we've paid out nearly another $80 million in payments to the P3 contractor for that work, and we're continuing to move forward as they complete other ICs and look to get other work completed and future payments. Outside of that, no other real outstanding or significant differences in what was budgeted compared to where we're sitting in our budget. If there's any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Benson?
Now we've got the level 2. If someone's got detailed questions on that, but if not, that concludes my report.
Anyone? Any questions? Level 1, level 2? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
This is an informational item only. We move on to item number 7, which is a budget change request, 023, from a P3 contingency for drain transition to the diversion channel. It's on page 67 of the packet, and we call on Mr. Paul Barthol.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Before you is a budget change request where we are requesting transition of $550,000 from the system-wide P3 contingency into work by the Water Resource District that they are doing for the authority adjacent to the P3 work in the P3 channel. This is to cover work on about 6 different legal drains that transition into the that actually flow into the diversion channel. This work is to provide a transition. The developer is building the ultimate width of those channels within the P3 right-of-way so that if there's any future improvements upstream of them, they'll be able to handle it. However, the water resource districts are not in a position right now to do those future improvements, and so their transitions need to be made from a wider channel basically to a narrower channel on all these drains. We looked at several different options of having the developer do it within the right-of-way. We had the developer look at potentially having the developer do it outside of the right-of-way, but ran into issues with both of those options, so we felt it was the cleanest, both short-term and then long-term, for the maintenance of these transitions and the eventual improvements in there to go back and make changes within the P3. We felt that that was going to be difficult for the next 20 to 30 years while the developer's there. So we asked the water resource districts to take on this work. HMG has been doing the design under their contract, so if you see the projected costs, those are for construction only in 2025. So we have 5 this year. We're still evaluating, I believe, 1 more, maybe 2 for next year. We don't have the final costs on those yet, but I'm looking right now to see if it's on there. No, yeah, I believe we still have 1 more drain 21 that's not on this list yet. So this will cover 2025, and then we have 1 more to come before you. So this is to cover the actual construction work in the field that is being performed by the water resource districts. They're bidding that work out and following their standard process that way. So we're just requesting to cover the cost from the contingency And then adding it, it will also increase the cash budget for 2025 so that we can pay this work out underneath the existing cash budget. Are there any questions I can answer?
Questions, anyone? All right. Thank you, Paul. Again, Commissioner Grinberg moves to approve. Is there a second? Mr. Steen seconds. We have a motion and a second to amend the cash budget for 2025 with a request for contingency on the drain transitions to the diversion channel to the amount of $550,000. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Don, would you please call a roll?
Mayor Durdis.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Steen.
Yes.
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Redlinger. Mr. Grimberg.
Aye.
Mr. Pepcorn.
Aye.
Mr. Capitan.
Aye.
Mr. Reeds.
Yes.
And Ms. Heinley.
Yes.
And that is everyone.
Thank you, Don. Item number 8 is the Diversion Authority Board approval contracting actions. We have 2 items to talk about. The first one will be with Justin. Justin?
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Committee. Today, I am seeking approval from the Financial Committee for the agreement with Horizon Real Estate Group. As part of the communications and discussions in the past, we are looking to get rid of the Horace Elevator site as part of our excess land policy. We have developed an RFQ, or a request for qualifications, the last month, and we invited 10 different realtor groups to be part of a discussion that we held an online meeting to go over the property, and we received 3 different RFQ packages that listed qualifications of the real estate agents, as well as comparable success of commercial sales to the elevator, proposed marketing strategy, which I think is going to be critical towards the sale of the elevator, proposed commission rate, which we've outlined within this as being 6%, and then proposed agreement documents. After we went through the 3 submittals, we have chosen Horizon Real Estate Group and Brian Tulobaski as the representative of this group. We feel that his proposal for the marketing strategy, as well as his ingenuity in his proposal, is what we are needing to help in selling this property at this time. With that, I'm more than happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Justin? All right, thank you. We have 2 items here. We can take them together, or we can vote on this one separately, whatever's the pleasure of the committee. We'll move on then. Eide Bailey's new MSA. We'll call on Paul again for this one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the committee, before you is a master services agreement for the auditing services of Eide Bailey. Previously, we've signed an annual contract, an annual letter of intent to work with them to do the auditing for the project. However, this brings them into line with our standard practices, where we bring a company on through the master service agreement, and then we provide task orders on an annual basis or semi-annual basis that outlines the scope and fee. And so this is the overall master services agreement. It has been reviewed and approved by Eide Bailey and their team, and it's been reviewed and approved by our legal team. So standard type language. It's just for the annual auditing of the authority books. So, any questions?
Questions? Anyone? All right. Both are actionable items. We can take them one at a time or jointly. Commissioner Pipcorn.
I'll make a motion to approve both.
Commissioner and Mr. Steen seconds. We have a motion and a second to approve item number 8A and number 8B. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Don, would you please call a roll?
Mayor Durdis.
Yes?
Mayor Mahoney.
Aye.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Steen.
Yes.
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Redlinger. Mr. Grimberg.
Aye.
Mr. Pepcorn.
Aye.
Mr. Capitan.
Aye.
Mr. Reeds.
Yes.
And Ms. Heinley.
Yes.
That is everyone.
Thank you, Don. Item number 9 is other business. We have one item to discuss. We're going to again call on Paul. The 2026 draft cash budget, page 74 of the packet.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the committee, before you is the next draft. This is draft 2, version 2 of our draft budget. There are some minor changes in this budget. First and foremost is if you recall last Finance Committee meeting, there was the approval of the HMG amendment for the Cheyenne mitigation project. That has been added into this budget, so the budget that was approved for that was added in underneath the engineering and design firm. The other major change that is in here is underneath the third-party MOUs with the channel and utility relocation. We realized that we had omitted the $9 million payment to the BNSF Railroad once we get to final completion as part of the construction and management agreement, construction and maintenance agreement with BNSF. There is a $9 million payment, $3 million for each of the crossings for the additional maintenance that the railroad will have to take on for those 3 bridges. So, but that's in perpetuity. So basically, as soon as we get done with the structures, we hand them over to BNSF to manage and to maintain. So the $3 million is for that payment. So a total of $9 million to there. So if per the developer's schedule, we get to substantial completion in late 2026, we also anticipate having to make that payment to BNSF to close out our construction and maintenance agreement. Other than that, we are still tracking lands very closely. And I think you'll hear in Mr. Fisher's report tomorrow before the full board that we're making some excellent progress on the lands outside of the eminent domain process. So we are keeping an eye on that to see where we will close. And then also we're looking very closely with the developer and looking at their schedule. If you can tell us what the weather's going to be for the next 3 weeks and how much work will get done, well, I'll be able to give you a better number as to what we're going to be able to finish up this year. So the developer is pushing very hard to get work done this year and to get projects closed out. I think we've received 6 interim completion notices and submittals within the last week to 10 days. And so those are going through the process. So we'll keep our eye on the remainder of the budget and where we're actually going to land. Because as Mr. Benson noted, that we had not spent any of the 234 million, sorry, I can't spit that out today, for the WIFIA draws, and that was basically because we hadn't tapped into any of the majority of the P3 milestone payments. So we start looking at those payments, we need to see what's going to roll over from 25 into 26 and make sure everything's set that way. So any questions?
Questions? I have one question. On your Cheyenne mitigation, the increase to the cash budget, what line item is that?
Right now, the cash budget is only increasing under the management, legal, financial, and procurement, under the engineering and design fees, under non-construction costs. So we went from 9.9 million to 10.9. Now, this is only for the engineering. The construction costs are included within the program budget, but since we're not looking at construction till at least 27 at the earliest, maybe 28, because we have to have the Cheyenne Aqueduct fully functional and managing the flows across that before we can start construction on the Cheyenne mitigation. So,
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions for Paul?
Can I ask a question, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
So after this budget, then, is that, like, what percentage of completion would that be? Is it going to be 100%? It's obviously not going to be 100%, but what would the percentage of completion be, would you estimate, at the end of that budget?
For the entire spend of the program, we'll probably be close to 90% spent at that point. We'll probably be close to 95 to maybe even 100% if they hit that substantial completion and that final substantial completion payment for the P3. So we're going to see a lot of, as you can see with the budget numbers there, we're going to see a lot of cash going out the door this year.
Mr. Pipcorn, a follow-up? You have something else?
And so, but like you said, there are some projects that you can't do until it's actually been completed, like you were just talking about, correct? So there's, even though it's going to be almost essentially completed, there's still some to do.
Yes, especially construction-wise, and this does not take into the operations and maintenance. And so we're going to be doing a lot of transitioning into that operations and maintenance. Per the JPA, there is a separate fund that is set up for operations and maintenance, and so we're going to be working with the fiscal agent on that. But yeah, as we getting through, there is some work in Cass County and in with the Cheyenne mitigation project and some other projects. But the goal is still, and we're pushing very hard to get the projects completed so that we can be operational in the spring of 2027.
That's great, Mr. Chair. Just one more question. So in the past couple of winters, they worked during the winter, obviously, that was, which was amazing to me. Is that, do you think they will still be doing that this year as well? That's the end of my questions. Thank you.
Absolutely. They have been made with the ability to work through the winter, especially being able to pour concrete in the winter. We are looking at opening several bridges yet this month. The majority of the concrete work will be done. The main focus of the concrete work will be Maple River Spillway, and then the Cheyenne River Aqueduct is about all that they're going to have left for concrete work. So once they get that work, they'll be finalizing the earthwork, which they can do during the winter. And actually, with some of the soils in the valley here, some of the Brenna type soils, it actually works a lot easier when it is frozen.
Anyone else, any questions? Will the asphalt work be done on the approaches, the crossings?
The intent is yes. We'll see how soon the snow gets here, because there's temperature limitations to that. So, and unfortunately, our developer is at the mercy of the asphalt plants at this point of the year. So,
Anyone else? Thank you. This item number 9, the draft cash budget, is for information only. Our next meeting is going to be November 19th. Is there anybody on the Finance Committee that has anything they'd like to bring forward at this time? Any of the staff members like to bring anything forward at this time? All right. With that, we stand adjourned.